Hi everyone, this is a tutorial on, hopefully, fingers crossed, putting water waves back into your heat-friendly synthetic wig, either from straight, if you've got a straight one that you want to turn wavy, or one that you've had to remove all the crunchy, frizzy, dry ends. And obviously that process, whether you use straightening irons, a hot brush, curling tongs, whatever you use, to hot comb even, to remove those crunchy ends, it will straighten the hair. There's no doing it any other way. The heat removes whatever style was in your wig. So I'm going to straighten a few bits in this one, and then re-wave them so you can see. This is the wig for anyone that's watched the previous tutorial on thinning your hair so that it doesn't tangle as much. This is the wig, the original wig. This is Denise by JB Extensions. And it was a hot mess, what can I say? It was frizzy and horrible and just nasty. So I removed all the crunchy ends, attacked it with the thinning scissors. I've worn it all day today, first time. I've just taken it off and put it on the mannequin head, and this is it. I haven't touched it. This is exactly how I took it off. It's soft. Apart from the odd snag, I can run my fingers through it, even under the nape. That never happens. It's usually just horrible, sticky, knotty, clumpy, tangled. Yeah, so the thinning scissors absolutely do work, no doubt about it. So, right, let's get to it. Now, obviously, as you can see, this has got beautiful water waves in it. Most of my wigs do have something like this in them. And it's a challenge to keep that look once you get at it with some sort of heat. So I've been practicing for a while. I'm a retired hairdresser, so I didn't have any excuse really to not be able to do this. So what I use is one of these, a curling wand. For anyone in the UK watching this come from Argos. It was a tenner. In fact, it was less than a tenner. I think it was £9.50. It's quite short, that's the only downside, but you know, it works, what can I say? It does go up to 180 setting on this as the highest, but I put it at 170. I'm always a little bit nervous about doing the max heat. I do put it on 180 if I'm doing human hair, but for synthetics it's 170. So please do make sure that you know what the maximum is for your wigs that you're going to do this process on. So, right, it's all ready to go. And what do we need first? We need water spray. You can use wig milk, I think, but water spray. So give it a light mist. For anyone that follows Denise Sheet, she's an American lady. Hey Wig Sister is her handle, her account. When I very first started doing research, before I even bought my very first synthetic wig, I used to watch all of her videos, and I remember in one of them she said, water is your friend, and she's absolutely right. You can use it at the end of the day to help comb through any snags or tangles, and you absolutely need it before you put any heat anywhere near your synthetic wig, because if you don't, if you do it on, I'll show you, if you do it on dry hair, it makes it go poker straight and limp really quickly. But if it's damp, because you don't need it to be soaking wet, just damp, you'll get a sizzle when it comes into contact with the heat, which generates a little bit of steam, and then it helps to maintain whatever shape you're putting into the hair. If you do it on dry, it doesn't, it just flops. I don't know why that is, but it does. So, right, first of all, I'm going to pick a piece out and I'm going to straighten it, just for the purpose of this video, as I don't, it's a little bit time consuming. It's not a quick 5-minute job. So I don't really want to straighten the whole wig because it took me ages to do it. So I'm just going to do a couple of bits and show you. Now, ideally, for this process, you'll have a previous water wave or beach wave, whatever you want to call it, but as far as I'm aware, it's water wave, this sort of gentle style. You will have gone at the ends with whatever it is you're using to get rid of your crunchy, frizzy bits. So it will only be the ends, or say half of the section, that's straight or straightish or has lost its wave. So that's the ideal, because you can then follow the natural pattern. So let me just straighten this. I'm just going to do it by rubbing this heat over and putting tension on the hair so that it will straighten. There. Okay, now you can see that's pretty straight. Let me just make sure. There it is. That's so the top part is still wavy, the bottom half is straight, because you would have put some form of heat on it to get rid of your curly ends. Now this bit's nice and smooth, hasn't got any curly ends on it, so, and the heat obviously has dried it out a little bit. So what we'll do is put a little bit more spray on it just to re-wet it. There we are. Right, so here we go. Now, as we can see, I'm going to use that top, the very first bit of the wave, and as you can see, if you put that in to match the wave, wind your piece of hair around. I don't know, I can hear the sizzle, I don't know if you can, but there's a gentle sizzle. And then as you pull it out, you can go in and do a little bit more. And then move it down to the bottom bit, just to get that last bit in. And I move it very slightly, like that. It just gives it a little bit of a natural. And then just put a little bit of tension on it, blow on the hair to help it cool. And there, let me put a little bit more there. And there you've got your kink. Now I'm going to get a dry piece of hair and show you what I meant by if you straighten it. On dry. See how quickly that went straight. There. And if I try to curl it, hopefully it won't call me a liar, but if you try to curl it on dry hair, it just doesn't. It doesn't maintain the curl. It comes out really quickly. Still warm. It just doesn't behave the same as what it does when it's wet. So I give it a quick spritz with some water. And there is the wave. Just do the end a little bit. Little bit of tension on it. And there. Okay. Now this bit here, I'm not 100% happy with that. I don't know why. I'm going to go in that middle section there. Can you see under my finger? Is not quite right. So a quick spritz, and I think I might go in and do it the other way and try that. You'll never completely replicate the manufacturer's wave, because when they make these wigs they use metal rods to wind massive sections of hair around. They then make them into wigs, so you get this very uniform wave pattern throughout, so you'll never be able to replicate that completely, but you can get pretty damn close to it. Yeah, you see that one that I did there? Now you can, if you want to, make it much curlier with the same process, because natural wavy hair would have a certain degree of inconsistency with wave pattern. So you could do the occasional bit of tighter curl. Ah, you can hear the sizzle, the tighter curl. And you could do the odd curly bit throughout the wig and get a little bit more of movement in it. You could have the odd straighter bit as well, because wavy curly hair will often have little straight bits. So you can completely customise your hair, or your wig I should say, and make it look really natural. And there's the bend in the hair, match it. I don't know how many seconds this is. I sort of feel when it's ready. I know that doesn't help you ladies. Go in that last little bit, wind it round. If you want to, you can leave the ends straight, which I know some beach wave looks have that, where the ends are straighter. But that is how I do it. It's really easy. I've seen so many people like use the like curling tongs and straightening irons and things, but this to me, curling wand was like a no-brainer for me. It was like, yeah, of course, that's what's going to do it. And you just play around with it until you get the right amount of wave that you want. Like I said, obviously it's easier if you've already got a pre-waved wig that you can continue to match, but you can absolutely do it on a freshly straight piece of hair all the way down. You can curl a straight wig like this. Just start sort of about here, third of the way down, and wind it around and do a little bit at a time until you get all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, that's it. And then you just leave it to dry, leave it to air dry overnight, and that's it. Bob's your uncle. Done. Simple as that. I'm really pleased with that. I think it looks pretty natural. I hope you do too, and I hope you find it helpful. Thanks very much. What's the next tutorial going to be? I think I'm going to do removing crunchy ends, what I do, how I do it. Hopefully that'll be helpful to people as well. Okay, see you soon. Bye.